everybody, welcome back to JuJu's Journey. I am so excited. I am enjoying my new hobby so much. But before we get into it, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a 57-year-old widow now for 1 year and 2 months. I'm living life on my own for the first time in my whole entire life. This channel is really just my progression in grief and doing things to try to get me back to a place of stability, happiness, financial freedom, all the things that one would do through their process of going through life, I guess. And I've always been a crafter, always, ever since I was a little girl. I've always liked to do things. I'm not a true artist. I can't just sit there and paint a beautiful scene, but I can create things that make me happy. And today it's pouring down rain outside. It's February the 15th. I took a shower, put on pajamas. Yesterday on Valentine's Day, I took a shower, put on pajamas. I'm hibernating. That's also a way for me not to spend money. It's a win-win. So I'm just so excited to do this because this whole process is so much fun to me. I like everything about it. These are called ACEOs, and if you've never heard of them before, they are so cute. They're trading cards for art. They are 2.5 inches wide, or whichever way you want it. They're 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. So I took watercolor paper that I purchased and I sliced it up in these little individual little cards. And then I'm just creating this. I had some printed paper and I decoupaged it on. I love to do decoupage. This one I had the most beautiful little watercolor flowers that I painted. They were so cute. But then whenever I went to go decoupage my cute little butterfly on there, because I just like the decoupage too, it smeared all of my watercolors. So I figured today I would try to fix this one and use acrylic. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I just thought it would be fun to kind of do it together. So let's make sure I've got all my acrylics. And I guess I'm just going to use this paper as my palette. I think I'll put some, oh goodness, none of these have been opened. So I'll just stick those up there. I'm going to put a little bit of orange. I did actually spend money getting back into this hobby because all of our acrylics that I had previously were dried out. And I did not have watercolor. I've never really used watercolor. Let's see. I know I won't. I'm just going to start with a few colors that seem to make me happy when I look at them. Doing stuff like this really makes me happy. I do have ADD, I'm sure. But I can sit for hours doing something that's non-productive. You know, I can't go clean my house for an hour or two, but I can sit down and do something like this for 5 hours. It's so weird. I've always been like that. Whenever I was in high school, I was a cheerleader, and back then you didn't have the internet, so you couldn't get your little stickers to go on the, to pass out for game day. So the cheerleaders, we would make homemade stickers out of construction paper, you know, and outline them in Sharpies and just make the cutest little stickers. And then we would just fold up the masking tape and go to I went to a very small private school, but we would go to the elementary building and go to each classroom, several cheerleaders, and pass out stickers to all the kids, and they would be so excited, and they would wear them, and they would say something like, there might be a light bulb, and would say, give them power, or we got the power, or something like that. I mean, so many different ones. I can't remember at this moment, but so much fun. And I would make, mine were always the best, because I would sit there and spend so much time on them. You know, we would have to make like 100 each week. And, you know, I could actually focus on doing that. It was a lot easier to focus on that part than it was actually doing my homework. Which, I mean, I did manage. I probably could have been a better student. But back then, people were not diagnosed with things like that. And I'm glad, because I would have never wanted to be put on medication. I kind of think that people who have ADD can do a lot of things, like at work. Although I was a preschool teacher, and so a lot of my day was creating. But I was a very productive person. Your ability to, like, jump to something else if things aren't going good is really, really good when you have something like that. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, my daughter is just like me. Our houses are not organized at all. We lose focus on everyday tasks, you know, like it's hard, like we have to really focus on, like, okay, go clean out the dishwasher. Like, I unloaded my dishwasher this morning, and I only have to run my dishwasher once a week. You've got to understand, and it's really silly that I even run my dishwasher. But I unloaded all the spoons. I had some plates because I did cook like a frozen pizza one day. And but all of mine are coffee mugs. I don't cook at my house. So I could rinse out my coffee mug and use the same mug every single day. But living alone, I saw somewhere, because for the first year, I washed my dishes. I didn't run my dishwasher. Maybe twice that first year. But I saw somewhere that it's really not good for your dishwasher or those type of appliances not to be run, because I guess everything will kind of get dry rotted. And I certainly don't want that to happen. And so I do have tons of coffee mugs, so I'll just let my dishwasher fill up. And anyway, the point of this is that I unloaded my dishwasher, and I only unloaded half. Why? I don't know. Half of it. It's so strange. Like, why? Why would someone just go and unload half of the dishwasher? It's not like I got a phone call. It's just weird. But that's how That's how your mind works. You don't complete task. And if you do, you have to like stay focused or have a deadline. I guess that's why you're so good at your work, like in a work environment. Like it wouldn't matter if I worked in an office or anything. I would be very, very, very productive because I guess you would have deadlines. And people with ADD, they work better. I always would say that I work better under pressure. It's because we do. Like if we have to have something done, then you get it done. You know, like Christmas, pulling together like a Christmas dinner to feed, 35 people. You can get it done. You can have your house spotless, your baseboards cleaned, everything perfect. Like, and you can do it starting 48 hours before the event. But one thing about me, and I think a lot of ADD people, we can't just put things away. You can't just like shove them somewhere because company's coming. You can't just have that. You have to organize and put things back where they came from. And so you make little piles every single, you organize it. You put all of this here, all of this here, all of this here, and you make a huge mess. Like it looks 10 times worse. And then in the hour before your task is completed, it looks like you've made the biggest mess. I mean, it's worse than it ever was before you even started. And then it all comes together. Like you can say, oh my gosh. And then the people are like, how did you do that? Like your family members are like, how? I was like, there's no way that you're going to get any of this done. Like if but you do it and it's fun. But then you can sit and do something like this and just go to town. I'm just going to paint some flowers. I did order something else. But I mean, once I get everything I need, they'll last for a long, long time. I have lots of craft supplies that I do use. I do, but but usually when you invest in something, it's not going to go to waste if you have a place to put it, And I'm very lucky because I have tons of places I'm in, well, I guess you could really call it my studio, my craft room, because I've turned my master bedroom upstairs into my craft room. It's not completed. I still need to paint it. I still want to make it cute, but I'm saving up for that. I was just going to do it, but then I said, nah, I don't need to do that. I need to budget for it because if I spend that money all at once, then I might not have money to do something else later. And I'm glad. I probably wouldn't have had the money to buy these acrylic paints, and these watercolor paints and new paintbrushes and a watercolor tablet and all the things that I needed to start my little journey. But I'm just going to paint these little flowers, and you can blow dry it in between if you want to and let it and let it dry, you know, but I'm not going on too thick, so I think it'll be fine whenever I do my and it's starting to turn out cute. I'm very intrigued with watercolor. I've never really done watercolor, but I've been watching videos, and I can't wait to really dab into that. I wish y'all could see my daughter's. She's so talented. I mean, you actually can. She's got hers listed on eBay right now. And I think I'm going to do mine on eBay too. But I'm going to get a whole bunch together and then list. But I'll put her link in the description. Charlie Jude is her eBay store. And they don't, usually you put them on a bid and let them, you know, people bid for them. It's a whole community out there that collects these. She's actually started ordering from people because she likes them too. If you had a little spot on a gallery wall that just needed something in that one little area, these would be perfect. But people trade their artwork, or you buy it just to collect other people's artwork. You could put it in a little tiny frame and put it on your desk. You could actually, like, buy one really, I mean, because you're not going to spend more than probably $5. I mean, probably even less than that when you buy them on eBay. And so you could go get a cute little magnet frame that goes on your refrigerator and put one of these in with a gift. And then they have a magnet with somebody's original artwork. You know, really, really cute. And that's starting to look cute. I'm excited. I think I need one right here. Maybe I like that green. Anyway, it's very peaceful. You hear how quiet it is. All I can hear is the rain outside. I was invited to go eat lunch with my daughter and her fiance. And I said, no, thank you. I'm not going anywhere today. And I'm glad that I made that decision because this is fun. I'm enjoying myself. Valentine's, you would have thought that, because today is the 15th of February. Yesterday was Valentine's. And you would think that I would be kind of depressed because, you know, I was by myself, didn't have, you know, my husband. Nobody would give me well, my granddaughter gave me a special Valentine. But, I don't know. I really felt good yesterday. I didn't feel anxious or depressed or any of the things that I kind of thought that I was going to feel. I felt fine. And last night my son-in-law cooked steak. He even plated our food, y'all. We had zucchini, steak, a Caesar salad, and it was awesome. And I thought I was going to have to get dressed to go grab something from the grocery store today that I needed. But whenever I was talking to my daughter, she said her husband was going to the store in a little bit and he would grab it for me so I didn't have to get out. I thought that was really sweet. And the kids don't have school this week. So I don't even have to go pick up from school. So I think this week's going to be just like a lazy week. I think we'll go to the grocery store once for lunch and just be lazy. I did sell something on eBay that I do need to get shipped. It was a good sale. It was like a $30 sale. So that was purchased yesterday. So I'll get that ready to ship out either in the morning. It won't take me any time because of my system that I use. All I have to do is pull it and put it in a poly sack and print off the label after I weigh it and measure it. It literally will take less than 10 minutes to get it ready to ship. So that's the only thing I have to do tomorrow is go to the grocery store and run by the post office. And so while I'm at the post office, I have never been like this before. But my daughter that lives in another state, I normally, for their birthdays, I normally do Amazon and just have it shipped to them, right? Well, I decided this year, her birthday and her son's birthday are on the same day. So I decided this year that I was just going to get a card and send cash. I know you really shouldn't do that. Just because my grandson's 8 and they think like $100 is amazing. You know, they think they're, ooh, $100. You know, they don't know. They don't know that $100 this day and time is really more like 10 years ago, you know. But I was going to do that, and I wanted to give her her money too because she would never allow me to, she wouldn't pick out anything for me to purchase for her birthday on Amazon. And so then I'd just have to guess and hope that she likes it. And so I figured if I sent her money, then she would at least use it on herself. And, you know, then we wouldn't go back and forth like, please just tell me what you want. And her say, I don't need anything, you know. So I'm late. Their birthday was February 2nd, and it's already the 15th. I've never been late like that before. I talk to them all the time. I've apologized, but I did pull the money yesterday or last night, so I will definitely get that in the mail today. I found the cutest card at the General Dollar probably about 6 months ago. And I went back and bought every single one they had because I thought that would be the funniest card for like the guys in their family. And it was this person in a wetsuit, and the wetsuit was all blown out, kind of like a balloon, right? And it was something like advice, 2 things. And one was something about, and I didn't realize this because I was going to send it to my grandson. 2 things to never do. And then when I looked at the card, I couldn't send it because the first thing was about drinking. Like, I can't remember what the thing was, but never drink too much. 2 things that you should not do. Don't drink too much. And then the second one, 2 things not to do on your birthday. Don't drink too much, and then you open up the card. But see, the guy's all puffed up in a wetsuit, and his wetsuit is completely, like, ballooned out, like somebody blew it up. And it says, and don't fart in a wetsuit. And I just kind of thought, being an 8-year-old little boy, he would appreciate that don't fart in a wetsuit. But I couldn't say don't drink too much. So he is not going to get that birthday card. That's what held me back, because I didn't go anywhere this week to get a new birthday card. But now that I've got my paints out, I might just make him a homemade birthday card. Actually, I think that's what I'll do. I could do that really quick. Okay. I feel like that blue is too much. I think I need to put some flowers kind of touching it or over them. I mean, I love the blue. What should I do? I like all of it, but I'm trying to think what I should put. I need to put some flowers kind of like near the blue. I don't want black. Do I want red? I guess if I do red, I'll do it like bright red. What do y'all think? I don't know. I can't get this one. There we go. I have a feeling this can either go bad, or it can go good. I've got paper on my craft table. I have this huge island in the middle of my room that I had all this stuff that I was going to list on eBay. But I've moved all the stuff I was going to list on eBay to the couch that's in this room. And took all of the stuff for my new hobby so I can spread out and enjoy it instead of having to move it back and forth. It can all stay in one location. I don't know, I think that red's okay. Okay. Let's put red right here. Let's put maybe some red touching the green. That'd be pretty. It's starting to look cute. And then that one little butterfly. Let's put red right up here. I like the red. Let's put a red flower maybe right here. And it's fun. Honestly, y'all, I could do this all day long. And it would just make me so happy. Okay, let me see. I feel like I could probably... I've got yellow. I think I'm just gonna go in. And I think the watercolor background was good. I put craft paper down on my work table, and my craft paper is actually a big old roll of butcher paper that I bought at Sam's probably 6 years ago, and I have tons of it. So I taped it down, and so if I get paint anywhere, it's not going to get on my surface. Some of these are not quite dry, so I got to be kind of careful. Making the little inside of the flowers. I did order something else. I ordered some more watercolors, but they make this shimmering watercolor, and I only know this from my daughter next door. And you can put it over in it, or you can highlight certain areas, and it's transparent or translucent. And it just kind of highlights everything. But of course, that won't be here for a couple of days. So that gives me something else to look for. I ordered some acrylic paint pens, really good ones that have like the fine point that you can do outlining and small detail with, because you know you're working on such a small. Okay. I wonder what, if I have a really fine. I know the more I get into this, I can already tell that I'm gonna need probably really good brushes, because you know, I just grabbed a few brushes at Walmart. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not bad at all, but see how much fun this is. And it's literally, and I think another good thing is it doesn't take up a lot of space because they're so little, you know. So you could, when you go to clean up, you can just kind of put your stuff, your little canvases, especially if you cut them out. I did list some on eBay already pre-cut. So in case, because I already have the slicer at my house, and so they would be, you know, exact. And a lot of people don't have that. And then the people that are into it, you know, some people just like the convenience of not having to cut things out by hand in case they mess up. So I did list that you could get, I could slice them for people. But of course I hadn't sold any. But I feel like once I put mine up on eBay, my canvases or my artwork, it will probably start driving a little bit more attention to those listings, Because right now, if you only have one listing, I think if I watched the other videos, the way I look at it is, if you're going to send somebody somewhere for ECEO supplies, like in your own hometown, you're not going to send them to a store that only has one item, because that would be a waste of their time, because then what if that one item sold out, you know? But you would send them to a store. You would recommend a store that had a selection, you know? So I saw somebody who recommended these to get traction to your store is to list like 50, like make 50 cards and then list them. And when you list on eBay, you can actually make your listing and make it go live at a later time, right? And so I think that's what I'm going to do when I do start listing. Okay, guys, I'm kind of feeling torn. I kind of want to do something with this background. This was one of the first cards I made. I think that one video that we did. I don't know if I like that or not. And I said I'm going to paint all my backgrounds. Well, this was one of them, and I didn't like it at all. I will never paint my backgrounds to start out with. Now, I made decoupage because I love decoupaging too. And that's considered artwork too, guys, by the way. It's really pouring now. Like pouring rain. You know, one thing, our water table is going to be up this year. We had that 8 inches of snow, 6 to 8 inches, probably more like 6. Some areas it was 8, but where I live, I think it was more like 6. Anyway, we had yeah, I think that definitely helped. I don't like really the way this looks right in this area, so let me splotch it up a little bit more. What do you think? Maybe a little bit more on this side. I think it's because I don't have any more of that paint. Okay, I think that's it. So, I'll sign it, and my ACEO is done. And then on the back, I've already signed it. Now all I have to do is date it and name it. I put a stamp on the back with the lines. I have that stamp. So you sign it. I will put my initials on the front and date it and name it. And my first, well, not my first, but my little ACO is ready. What do y'all think? Isn't it cute? I would definitely put a magnet on that and stick it on my refrigerator to hold stuff. And I would definitely frame it. But you put them in these cute little sleeves. If I can find it. You know, like the baseball trading card sleeves. This was my canvas, the original canvas. And I have one of those things that round the corners. And so that to that. And then once it's dry and ready, I can put it back in the little baseball protective sleeve. Store it in my, you know, the little inserts that you put in binders for collectible trading cards, and add to my collection. Now this is, like I said, I decoupaged. I did this one last night, and I'm going to put some acrylic on it too. But this is a decoupage background, and then I enhanced it with markers. And then this one I'm going to make, I do adult coloring books too, just as I'm watching television at night. And I cut out all the pieces because I was going to decoupage my floor in my craft room. But I said, you know, that's pretty too. So if I can decoupage this on there and enhance it with paint, how pretty is that? I might work on this one next. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I just think this is the most wonderful pastime. I hope y'all enjoy it too. And I encourage y'all, do something crafty. It really helps, especially if you're depressed or if you're going through something. Just focus on making something, you know, pretty. Whether it's cross-stitching, needle pointing, crocheting, doodling, coloring in adult coloring books, decoupaging. Decoupaging is so much fun. Junk journaling. I love to junk journal. I haven't done that in a while, but I have a lot of stuff to go with that. And see, this to me is like junk journaling. Me, I like making the stuff, but I don't follow through with it. Like as far as like making my pages and making my journal, you know, last for years and keep adding to it. I'm not good at that. It's that follow through thing. But this to me gives you the same. This is kind of like junk journaling, but for art, you know? And people can actually collect it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will talk to y'all next time. Oh, I'm so excited. I think I'm up to 42 subscribers. You know, my goal was 50. I only have 8 more, so hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for watching JuJu's Journey. See you next time. Bye.